The takeoff is one of the rare techniques that surfers can practice and improve anytime they wish to. In this video, we will give you advice on how to practice your takeoff at home. After watching the first parts on how to get prepared and how to analyse your takeoffs, you can jump directly onto the technique you wish to practice by clicking in the video's progress bar. Here's how you can get ready to maximise the efficiency of your practice. You will need tape, and you may need a surfboard or a yoga mat, a mirror, and a phone or a camera. Okay, so first, choose on what surface you want to lay on when practicing. You can use a finless surfboard like a foam board, so that you don't damage a more fragile surfboard by repeatedly jumping on it. If you have an old shortboard or a fish that you don't care too much about, you can also use that. If you mostly ride small surfboards, this will make it easier to get a clear idea of where your feet are landing on the board. You don't need to practice on a surfboard though, you can do it on a yoga mat or directly on the floor. Use your tape to make a straight vertical line either on the floor or on the yoga mat, or on the surfboard if it doesn't have a stringer. Next, place your feet over the vertical line in your surf stance position. The distance in between your feet should slightly be wider than your shoulder width. Once you see where your feet are positioned, place a horizontal tape line on those spots, as if they were going through the middle of your feet. If you're practicing on a surfboard with a tail pad, only put a horizontal tape over the line where your front foot is. These lines will help you analyse if your feet are in the correct position after your takeoff. Also, the front horizontal line is where you will place your hand whilst lying on your stomach, getting ready to do your takeoff. For any takeoff technique, you'll start in the same prone position at first. Your hands will be flat under your pectorals, over the front horizontal line, your legs together, and your body centred over the vertical tape line or the surfboard stringer. By putting a mirror in front of you, you'll be able to see how you look once you've done your takeoff, and correct your body's position or stance if necessary. Another tool that can help you get a clearer vision on how you pop up is a phone or a camera. Filming yourself, ideally in slow motion, has the advantage of showing you exactly what you're doing from the different angles. Now let's see how to analyse your takeoffs. If you practice in front of a mirror, you'll be able to know if your body's position after takeoff is similar to this. Looking towards where you want to go, your left hand should be over your left rail, your right hand over your right rail, your knees should be bent, and your upper body should not be bending over. For more information on the proper surf stance, make sure you check out the link in the description below to create a free account on our online surf coaching platform. When looking down at your feet, they should be centred over the vertical tape line or stringer, meaning half your foot to the left and half to the right. Your feet should also be near the horizontal tape lines you have placed earlier. Note that if, for example, both feet are slightly more forward or backwards from the horizontal lines, this is not necessarily a big issue, compared to having both feet off-centre of the vertical line. What you do want to avoid is landing with both feet inside the horizontal lines or outside of them. If you did this in the water, you wouldn't be landing in the optimal stance and you would have to readjust your feet when riding the wave. A mirror is great for you to check your position after you've done your pop-up, but videos are really the #1 tool to analyse your takeoffs in depth. Often, surfers aren't aware of certain bad habits such as using their toes for the standard pop-up technique. We recommend to learn the following techniques by first doing them slowly. Taking more time to think about each step if you need to. By cutting your takeoffs into phases and filming yourself, it might be easier to analyse your technique on video. Studies have shown by gradually increasing the speed of quality repetitions, students have better chances of doing them correctly. As you practice and gain confidence, start increasing the speed of each step until your takeoffs become more like fast, fluid motions. The push-up technique is a technique for surfers riding longboards or foam boards, and it's one that makes it easy to create space in between your body and the surfboard. Start from the prone position with your hands underneath your pectorals. Look forward towards where you want to go during the takeoff. First, do a full push-up by lifting your whole body up. Your arms should be extended to create space between you and the board. Second, slide your back foot forward towards your opposite knee. And third, slide your front foot forward in between your hands. Once the front foot is brought forward, release your hands from the floor or the surfboard and stand up in your surfing stance. When you feel comfortable with each step and you end up in the proper surf stance with your feet in the correct position on the tape lines, you can gradually start accelerating each step at your own rhythm. If it helps, repeat these words in your mind. Push up, back foot, front foot, surf stance. Doing multiple takeoffs, for example 10 in a row if you can, will help you do them faster and with more confidence, as the movements will come more automated. Using the knees to take off could be considered if you have strength or mobility limitations that make it very difficult for you to use other techniques in this video. It is the slowest technique to get to your feet, but it requires less strength and flexibility. Start from the prone position with your hands underneath your pectorals. Look forward towards where you want to go during your takeoff. Push your upper body up to create a bit of space to slide both your knees up towards where your belly button was laying on the floor or on your surfboard. Then, bring your front foot forward in between your hands. Finally, release your hands from the floor or the surfboard and stand in your surf stance. When you feel comfortable with each step and you end up in the proper surf stance with your feet in the correct position on the tape lines, you can gradually start accelerating each step in your own rhythm. If it helps, repeat these words in your mind. Push up, slide the knees, front foot, surf stance. Doing multiple takeoffs, for example 10 in a row if you can, will help you do them faster and with more confidence, as the movements will become more automated. The chicken wing technique is very popular amongst beginners and intermediates, and it is a versatile one that works on any type of surfboard. Start from the prone position with your hands underneath your pectorals. Look forward towards where you want to go during the takeoff. Bring your back foot towards the opposite knee by sliding and bending your back knee out towards the side. Then, push your whole body upwards with only your hands and your back foot touching the ground or the surfboard. Finally, bring your front foot in between your hands to get into your surf stance. When you feel comfortable with each step and you end up in the proper surf stance with your feet in the correct position on the tape lines, you can start gradually accelerating each step at your own rhythm. If it helps, repeat these words in your mind. Back foot chicken wing, push up, front foot, surf stance. Doing multiple takeoffs, for an example 10 in a row if you can, will help you do them much faster with much more confidence, as the movements will become automated. The standard pop-up is the quickest way to get to your feet, and it's by far the most commonly used amongst experienced surfers. Start from the prone position with your hands underneath your pectorals. Look forward towards where you want to go during your takeoff. As you prepare to pop up, make sure you remind yourself of pushing up only with your hands and your knees, not with your toes. You can lift your feet slightly to prevent you from using your toes. Push your upper body up and use your thighs to lift up from the floor. Swing both knees up and forward and have your back foot land on the tail pad or where the first horizontal tape line is. Next, push your body upwards to create more space between you and the floor or the surfboard. Finally, bring your front foot in between your hands and get into your surf stance. When you feel comfortable with each of these steps and you end up in the proper surf stance with your feet in the correct position on the tape lines, you can start gradually accelerating each step at your own rhythm. If it helps, repeat these words in your mind. Push up, swing the knees to the back foot, front foot, surf stance. Doing multiple takeoffs, for example 10 in a row if you can, will help you do them faster with more confidence, as the movements will become more automated. For a deeper understanding of the takeoff and other key techniques, make sure you click on the link in the description below to access our free complete online course on the takeoff technique.